Opening. Facing the fear of aging. Have you ever looked into the mirror and felt that quiet whisper inside? I am getting old. The skin softens, the eyes grow slower, and sometimes the heart feels a little heavier. We live in a world that worships youth, a world that tells us beauty fades, energy fades, and with them, our worth. But what if that's not true? What if aging isn't a loss, but a lesson? Most people fear growing old. They fear sickness, loneliness, and death. They fear becoming invisible, as if life itself forgets them. Yet the Buddha taught birth, aging, sickness, and death are not our enemies. They are the teachers that reveal the truth of life, impermanence. So what if the fear of aging isn't really about time, but about our misunderstanding of life itself? Imagine for a moment if growing old was not something to fight, but something to understand. Not a punishment, but a path. This is the path the Buddha pointed to, the path of seeing clearly, of releasing the grasping that causes our suffering. Because when we see with wisdom, we realize that time doesn't take anything away from us. It only reveals what was always true. You are not the body that ages. You are the awareness watching it gently change. And that realization is the beginning of peace. Part 2. This body is not who you are. When the Buddha was asked why people suffer, he said, because they mistake what is changing for what is real. Look at this body. It is made of earth, water, air, and fire, the four great elements. It breathes because air moves. It stands because earth supports it. It warms because fire burns within. And it flows because water runs through every cell. But these elements are not you. They belong to nature. They come together for a while, and then one day, they quietly return to where they came from. Buddha taught, this body is a house of sickness, born from causes and conditions. It grows old, it decays, it dies. Why be afraid of what was never truly yours? It sounds simple, but this truth is one of the hardest to see. Because we spend our whole lives saying, my body, my face, my pain. Yet every morning when you look in the mirror, you can see that this me keeps changing. The face you had at 20 is gone, and another face has taken its place. If the face keeps changing, the body keeps changing, the feelings keep changing, then who is the I that never changes? Imagine your body as a car you have driven for many years. It has taken you through storms and sunshine. It has dents and scratches and rust, signs of all the roads you've traveled. One day, the car breaks down. Do you cry because the car grows old? Or do you thank it for carrying you so far? You are not the car. You are the driver, the awareness inside. And that awareness cannot grow old. When you see this clearly, something beautiful happens. You stop fighting time. You stop fearing what the body will become. The Buddha's wisdom is not about escaping life. It's about seeing life as it truly is. When we know that the body is not me, we begin to live with lightness. We care for the body, yes, but we no longer suffer because of it. So next time your knees ache or your hands tremble a little, pause for a breath. Feel the air entering and leaving. Say gently in your heart, this body changes, but awareness remains. That is freedom, not far away in some heaven, but right here, in this very moment of understanding. Part 3. Cause and effect. Everything has a reason. Sometimes we ask, why me? Why this pain? Why now? The Buddha taught, this body and this life are results of cause and effect. Aging, sickness, and death follow the same natural law. It's not a punishment. It's not fate. It's the quiet mathematics of the universe. Every action, every thought, every word leaves a trace, and one day that trace returns. Just like the seasons, spring follows winter, harvest follows the planting. No one calls it destiny. We simply call it nature. In the same way, the state of our mind today is the harvest of yesterday's seeds. If we plant kindness, we harvest peace. If we plant anger, we harvest pain. The Buddha never said life was unfair. He said life is precise. When you understand this, something changes inside you. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what can I learn from this? If your body aches, if your heart feels tired, remember, this too has a cause, and every cause can be met with wisdom and compassion. When we live kindly, speak gently, and act with honesty, we create the kind of causes that bring peace even in the face of sickness or age. So when the storms of life come, you don't have to fight them. You can stand in the rain with understanding, knowing that the clouds will pass, because they always have. This is karma in its truest sense, not as fear, but as wisdom. It's the law that gives meaning to everything that happens. The Buddha's teaching invites us to live in harmony with this law, to see that nothing is random and nothing is wasted. Even suffering has its place. It is the soil where compassion grows. When you see life this way, you stop feeling like a victim. You begin to feel free, because you finally understand everything, even pain, is working for your awakening. Part 4. Practice. Right reflection. To the mind. There is a quiet power in the mind, the power to choose how we meet each moment. The Buddha called this right reflection. It means to respond to life with wisdom, not with fear, not with denial, but with clear understanding. When pain arises, when the body trembles, we don't have to say, why me? Instead, we can gently say, this is just a moment of feeling. It comes and it goes. That simple awareness changes everything. Right reflection is not pretending the pain isn't real. It is seeing pain as part of nature's movement, like waves that rise and fall on the surface of the sea. The waves may look strong, but the deep ocean beneath is still. Your awareness, that quiet watcher, is the ocean. The body grows old. The body gets sick. That is nature doing its work. But the suffering, the fear, the resistance, comes from the mind that says, I don't want this. Right reflection means learning to meet each sensation with understanding instead of resistance. To look at the pain and think, this too is impermanent. When we stop fighting what is, a soft peace appears. The body may still ache, but the mind becomes light, free from struggle. Imagine this. You feel a sharp pain in your back. Instead of tensing, you breathe. You whisper inwardly, this is just a feeling, rising and fading. For that moment, you become the witness, not the victim. And in that shift, healing begins. The Buddha taught, when the wise meet pain, they observe. When the unwise meet pain, they react. That is the secret of right reflection. It turns reaction into awareness and awareness into freedom. Aging, sickness, loss, they are not the real enemy. Fear is, because fear blinds us to the simple truth. Everything that rises will also pass away. So when the next wave of discomfort comes, pause, feel it fully without judgment, and let the wisdom of impermanence carry you back to peace. The body may grow weaker, but the mind that understands, that mind grows stronger every day. And that is the true practice, to meet life not with resistance, but with awareness, compassion, and gentle acceptance. This is freedom in motion, not a grand escape, but a quiet return to peace in the middle of everything. Part 5. Living Kindly, Finding Peace. The Real Power of Healing. The Buddha taught, when the mind is peaceful and the heart is kind, the body rarely falls ill. Modern science now says the same. When your heart is calm, your body releases healing chemicals. Your breath softens, your blood flows gently, and your immune system wakes up like spring after a long winter. This is not magic. It's the quiet conversation between mind and body, the wisdom of life itself. When your thoughts are kind, your cells listen. When you forgive, your heart beats in a softer rhythm. When you let go of anger, your breath deepens, and your whole being begins to heal. The Buddha's teaching is not about worship. It's about understanding how life truly works. He showed that the mind and body are one garden. If you plant seeds of kindness, flowers of peace will bloom. If you plant fear or hatred, thorns will grow instead. So the question is not how to avoid pain, but how to live in a way that brings balance to your heart. When you live kindly, you stop adding new storms to your sky. When you act with honesty, you sleep without regret. And when your heart is gentle, your days become lighter, no matter how old the body may be. The Buddha taught that a peaceful mind has a special strength. It can influence the body itself. Not by willpower, but by harmony. When the mind is clear, it stops sending waves of fear to the body. And when fear is quiet, the body finally remembers how to heal. Think of it this way. When a lake is calm, the moon reflects perfectly. When your mind is calm, the light of healing appears by itself. So the next time you feel tired or weighed down by pain, pause and ask yourself, what kind of seeds am I planting right now? If you plant a thought of kindness, a word of gratitude, a moment of compassion, your whole body begins to change. Peace is not found in temples or distant heavens. It begins right here, in the way you breathe, in the way you think, in the way you treat the life around you. Live kindly, breathe softly, and let your peace become the medicine that heals you. Part 6. Not afraid of being alone, not afraid of death. Growing old is not only about the body losing strength, it is also the time when many hearts begin to feel alone. Friends pass away, children move far, the phone grows quiet, and silence starts to fill the house. But silence, when understood, is not an enemy. It is a doorway to something deeper than noise, deeper than company, a quiet presence that has always been with you. The Buddha taught, one who lives with mindfulness is never truly alone. Because when you are aware of your breath, of the wind touching your skin, of the simple beating of your heart, you begin to feel connected again. Loneliness fades when awareness returns. You realize you are never really separate from life. Life has always been holding you, even in the stillness of an empty room. When we stop clinging to the body, to titles, to other people for our worth, we find a quiet joy in simply being. And when that peace is found, the fear of death begins to dissolve. The Buddha taught that death is not an ending, but a continuation, like a flame lighting another candle. The light does not disappear, it simply takes a new form. Just as the ocean never loses a drop when one wave returns to the sea, life never loses you when this body fades away. We suffer because we cling to form, to faces, names, and stories. But when we look deeper, we see that everything is movement, everything is transformation. Death is not cruel, it is simply change, the great rhythm that allows life to renew itself. When you understand this, you stop asking, "What will happen to me?" And instead, you whisper, "I am part of something infinite." So even if the body grows weak, even if the house grows quiet, the heart can remain open, peaceful, and full of love. Because true peace does not depend on company. It comes from realizing that the awareness within you is timeless. It was here before your first breath, and it will be here after your last. And in that realization, fear disappears, like a shadow fading at sunrise. Part 7. Living fully in the present moment. Old age is not the darkness of life. It is the gentle evening, the time when the sun turns golden and the world grows soft and quiet. It is not the end of the story, but the chapter where everything finally makes sense. The Buddha taught that peace is not found in the future or in the memories of the past, but right here, in this breath, this heartbeat, this very moment. So take a slow breath in and notice how life moves through you. Notice the cool air entering and the warmth leaving. That's all you ever need to do, to come home to this moment. When a thought of regret appears, smile softly at it and let it pass like a cloud drifting through a quiet sky. When a fear of tomorrow arises, say gently to yourself, "I am here, and right now, everything is okay." Every morning when you wake, before reaching for your phone, before thinking of what must be done, pause and whisper, "Thank you for one more day to awaken." Because each new morning is not just another day older, it is another chance to live with clarity, to forgive, to love, to see beauty in the smallest things. Growing old is not a curse. It is an invitation to slow down, to listen deeply, to discover who you truly are when everything unnecessary has fallen away. In the stillness of aging, wisdom ripens. Like a tree that no longer rushes to grow, but simply stands, offering shade, offering peace. When you live in the present, you are never too old to begin again. The past cannot be changed. The future is not yet here, but this moment, this simple breath, is enough. So live fully, love gently, and let every breath remind you that peace has always been within you. Part 8. The closing message. Fear less, live more. So, what have we learned from all these moments together? Aging is natural. Fear is a choice. The Buddha taught that everything we fight against only becomes heavier, but everything we accept with wisdom becomes light. The body changes, the face changes, but the awareness watching all of this, that calm, steady knowing, has never aged a single day. When you stop fearing old age, you stop missing life. Because fear keeps you trapped in tomorrow, while peace is always here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this gentle moment that asks for nothing from you. You don't have to be young to be alive. You just have to be awake. So breathe, not to control the breath, but to feel the miracle of being here, right now. Each breath is a thank you. Each moment is a gift. And even aging is a kind of blessing. It means life has trusted you long enough to let you see its deeper beauty. So let every wrinkle remind you. You have lived, you have loved, you have learned. As the Buddha taught, when we see things as they truly are, the heart rests and peace is born. So may you live the rest of your days not chasing what was, nor fearing what will be, but standing quietly in the wonder of this moment. And may every breath you take be a soft whisper of gratitude for this beautiful, impermanent, ever-changing life.